Another huge weekend for the Dayton Flyers, the men's basketball team now advancing to the A10 tournament. And joining me this morning to talk rankings and tournament predictions are Justin Kinner and Mark Schlemmer from Dayton ESPN's 1410 Wing AM. Guys, thank you so much. I know it's been absolutely crazy for you this time of year with the Flyers doing so well. But I wanted to get some of your expertise. You guys have covered this team more than anybody. So tell me a little bit about the A10 tournament coming up. Wednesday, it starts. Friday, the Flyers play. Are there any teams that could ruin this win streak?
I think there's a whole lot of them that could ruin the win streak. VCU, Duquesne, St. Louis, Rhode Island, Davidson. Anytime you go to a tournament and you're seeing it over the weekend, San Diego State, a #1 seed, gets knocked out by Utah State. Tournaments, anything can happen. UD, the odds, 29 wins. Sooner or later, that train's going to stop. You just hope it isn't before next year.
Yeah, we kind of talked in the newsroom that they may need to lose one now so that they don't lose one in the tournament.
And we've talked about that too when you talk about the perception of, do you want to take the nation's longest winning streak into the NCAA tournament? Usually that could be a distraction if the streak is the narrative, but there's so many other narratives that surround this program right now that I don't even think people are talking about the win streak. I think some people don't even realize that they have this long winning streak going on right now because we talk so much about Obi Toppin winning the A10, potentially being a #1 seed, high expectations for potential Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four run. I think this winning streak is kind of a background story right now.
In our lifetimes, we've never seen a team this successful at UD. Now,
wait a minute, your lifetime. I saw the '67 team.
Okay, there you go. Well, I mean, this team is historically good when it comes down to the performance that they've had. There's been talk that they could be a #1 seed. Could we see that from the selection committee on Selection Sunday?
If they don't get beat and you're #3 in the country, how are you not a top seed? So if they're not, there's something wrong with the rankings. And the way the dominoes have been falling over the weekend, Baylor, some of the other top teams, San Diego State losing, if UD wins out, they have to be a 1 seed. I'm not sure the fans really want that, but they have to be and should be.
Yeah, selfishly, fans want the team to fall into a seed that's going to be able to make them the most easily accessible, playing in Cleveland, playing in Indianapolis. And then I think they'll go to the moon to watch them in the Final Four if it comes to that. But I think Cleveland and Indianapolis is where fans really want the Flyers, and I don't blame them at all. I think the Flyers are good enough regardless, 1 or 2 seed. I think they're in the mix no matter what.
Can Obi win National Player of the Year?
Depends who you talk to.
That's a funny thing. Some of the national people we've talked to, we've asked that and Anthony Grant should be Coach of the Year. That should be a no-brainer right now. They don't seem to think Anthony's going to win the National Coach of the Year, but Obi, yeah, but you look at that list. There's an awful lot of good players on that list. He's gotten a lot of ink from day one when they started in Maui. Sure he can. And it goes to that story of UD. Without him, they don't win, but I see he and Crutcher got co-players of the year for UD. He can, yeah.
I mean, Obi Toppin, think back to this, past Saturday night. The team came out a little flat, and that was expected. You had game day here in the morning, a lot of energy that was, put out by the fans and by the players and the coaching staff. They came out flat, but stars do what stars do. Obi was the one that came out punching from the very beginning. We talk about Heisman moments in football. We don't talk about that in college basketball. Saturday night, if there was such thing as a Naismith moment, that was Obi Toppin's. Those 3 dunks that just totally re-energized UD Arena. It was unbelievable. That was his Naismith moment, if that's what you want to call it, on Saturday night.
He is absolutely ridiculous.
It's unreal.
It's so crazy. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Thank you for coming by this morning.
Absolutely.
Kind of giving us a preview, I'm sure, of what you'll be talking about. Of course, you can find Kinner and Schlemmer on ESPN's 1410 Wing AM, 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Make sure you guys listen to them because they're a heck of a good time to listen to. And they got the breakdown of all of our local sports here. And when Brown season and Bengal season comes around,
Browns.
I'm going to have to be making some calls into the show, okay? That's what I'm saying. All right. Let's go over now to Adriana for a check of the weather.